For many English towns, it's a simple, unwritten truth. The local newspaper needs the local football team, and that football team needs the newspaper. But Swindon Town FC of the English Football League has decided the local newspaper is to be kept on the outside, and say they'll use their own social media platforms to release news about the team.
It comes down to an attempt to control everything that comes out of the football club so that there's nothing that gets out that they don't want it to. Unfortunately, I don't think that's a strategy that's ever going to work. Reporters are reporters. We're paid to do jobs and find out information.
With unsurprising reluctance, the club agreed to give Al Jazeera access to production of its website and phone app for supporters. The club's chairman refused to come on camera, but says the paper is allowed in on match days and that he hasn't closed the doors on everybody. There is not a blanket media ban as being reported, is the official line. We are trying something fresh which we feel will give supporters a new insight into the football club. Bigger clubs do sometimes look to control interviews around their players and manager. Alex Ferguson used to favour this with Manchester United's MUTV, for example. Newcastle United's approach is more controversial. They're notorious for banning journalists for being critical of the club and its owner. The huge interest in football in England shows no sign of waning, and events like the SoccerX convention here in Manchester is one of many that brings together the people who run the game with journalists delivering stories directly to supporters. It's a delicate relationship sometimes, but one that has mutual benefits. In a multi-billion-dollar industry with clubs now trying to maximise attention and control, that relationship is entering an important era.
When you see clubs like Manchester United holding conference calls with investors and announcing to them how many Twitter followers they have, how many website followers they have, how their own media platforms are growing, that's where you see why they're prioritising actually publishing this material themselves, because they realise there's money to be made out of it, and they look at the media and think, well, why should we give them free access?
But no matter how big or small a football club, its roots are in the local community, just like its newspaper. If ever the world loses interest in English football, the local fans will still be there. And the local newspapers, well, they will expect access to the clubs to report for new generations of fans. Lee Wellings, Al Jazeera, Swindon.